In this video, I want to share with you my latest project, which is ADHDizzle OS, the reason why I'm doing it now, and how it's helped me to not just take my business to the next level, but also it's helped me to leave my 9 to 5. It's helped me to stay consistent with posting on IG. We've now hit 150k followers on IG. And on TikTok, I'm not even using it right now because I find I'm thinking of it as a distraction right now for me. So I'm now using Instagram, Facebook, funny enough, which I didn't actually realize is much more powerful than TikTok is, right? So I'm using that now, but I'm obviously distributing the same stuff that I'm posting on IG to Facebook, and Facebook's at about 35k now, without me even realizing. I wasn't even on the app when it was doing that, right? And I'm obviously doing YouTube once a week, and I've got a school community that I'm running. And yeah, but I just want to kind of just give you a scope of what my life actually looks like, what my current situation is now, what I'm trying to look at achieving, like, in the next few months, with this cohort that I've got, which is this project, ADHDizzle OS cohort. And going to do that while we're walking. So let's have a look at my scenery. So this is a walk that I do every day, right? I calculate, I do 10k steps a day, right? It's something that I've had to do because of something very heavy that came up in my life very recently. The end of April, I say early May. Yeah, I think so. Like I've lost count, man, because it just feels so surreal. Yeah, it just feels so surreal that my life's changed so rapidly, so quickly. But yeah, anyone that's new to the channel, I'm separated, my partner of 11 years, and we've got a daughter together. She's 6, and there was a part of that beginning process that was really hard for me. Like I felt really rejected, RSD, not just for my partner, for my daughter as well. I just felt really overwhelmed. I felt really sensitive to everything. Anxiety, a lot of it is coming up, right? But the thing is with me is that since I've been diagnosed, I understand that these things are going to happen to me. Like, I'm going to have these moments where I might feel anxious. There's going to be moments where I'm going to feel, rejection sensitive, and I'm not going to be as good as I'd like to be in certain areas of my life, right? Or whatever, right? I'm going to have challenges because what I'm doing is big. It's bigger than me. But what I've noticed is that how I'm reframing things is different, and how I'm approaching life after the big things happen is just different, and it just helps me to keep going. I've still posted every day on Instagram, even with all that happening. I've moved home. I've had to move out my home, right? That was a place that we had together. We've done a mortgage together. I've moved out my home, right? I've been there for 7 years now, right? We moved there before we had our daughter. So yeah, it's just a very, very big change to happen. But just how I've been approaching, I want to share with you what's been helping me to get through that. Because a lot of people, you know, will crumble in that moment, right? And the old version of me definitely would have crumbled. Like I'd have definitely just been like in a ball right now, in a room, in a dark room, just depressed, eating lots of sugar, binging, probably even watching porn and all that stuff. That's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd have been doing to just deal with that, right? So why am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because we all go through challenges as an ADHDer, all of us. Like, no one's immune. Furthermore, just human beings in general, we're all going to go through stuff. But for an ADHDer, our experience is a little bit different because of the way our wiring is, right? We're a lot more sensitive to things. We're more empathetic. We notice certain details, pattern recognition. There's a lot of different things that happen for us in our experience of anything that impacts us a lot more on the emotional level, right? And with that being said, when you know you have ADHD now, and now you know how to navigate traits, or you understand the traits more, or you understand yourself more, you get to just live a life that is able to deal with all those challenges that come up. And when they don't come up, you just get to really be appreciative of, like, for example, where I'm at right now. It's just so peaceful, man. Like, that this here, you can't pay for this. Like, this is free. This is free, right? But it's so undervalued because of our devices. Like, our devices, we go into them and we search and we compare ourselves to others and we do all this kind of stuff that's not really moving the needle for. I don't know if my nose is clogged up with. That's the thing, having this really good camera, right? You can see everything in HD now. You can see fucking inside my nose. You can see the fucking boogers and right. But my nose is starting to itch now because I'm in nature. But yeah, the thing is, we have access to some of the greatest tools to help us to navigate and manage ADHD, and a lot of the time we don't use it because of our devices, right? Or our approach for avoiding stuff. So you have something that you need to do today. Likely you're trying to avoid it, and that's taking up a lot of your energy. And because it's taking up a lot of your energy, there's no real motivation to do it. Plus, the only thing that you really want to do instead is just sit on the sofa and watch videos that stimulate you. And you got into that cycle where that becomes the go-to, right? What I've been doing is I've been trying to prioritize these walks and make sure that these walks happen so that I do 10k steps a day. I start off with 5k, so I'm doing 5k view right now. This is 5 to 6k normally I do in the first walk, and then after that I split the rest throughout the day where, you know, I might have a break in between, or I might just do another walk that is very similar and ends up doing the 10k, right? The most I've done, I think, was 20k or 19k in one day. I think that was even a weekend. That's pretty insane. No, was it a weekend? I think it was Wednesday. Because I had to pick up my daughter, and I'd done a walk to pick her up and took her back, and then went back again. And yeah, I'd done a walk in the morning. So yeah, it was quite a long day of walking. But what I want to address in this video, like I said to you, is I want to talk to you about, even though these challenges happened for me, and I cried a lot, obviously, a lot last month. It was a very heavy month. One of the biggest challenges that you will face is overwhelm. It's the open tabs. I feel like the open tabs is the biggest problem. We need to try to shut down these tabs that are draining our energy. Because if you think about a computer, or you think about even your mobile, just think about how you, like, for example, I have Google Chrome on my phone, right? And I might search something, but then I'll look at how many tabs have been open, right? And it'll say 50, 60 tabs are open, right? That have just been left open on my device that I'd never closed down. And it's secretly, yeah, the lights, obviously there's no light, but secretly what that's actually been doing is draining the battery of the phone. Like little things like that, like having all those browsers open at the back, and I'm not even using them. Like, it's not like, and like, why am I keeping them open? There's even apps that might be just in the background that I haven't closed down. There's these little things that you think, like you can't really see them, but they're doing that. And that's what's happening to our brain. We have a lot of open tabs. We have a lot of things that we need to remember, and that's the reason why we're forgetful. Of course, if you've got 100 things that you're trying to remember, of course you're going to find it challenging to remember everything, because you've overcommitted. But then we see it as that, oh no, but I'm not. I'm so forgetful. It's just because I'm a forgetful person. You're not a forgetful person. You just have a habit of putting too much on your plate. That makes it very difficult for you to keep up now, right? And if you're seeking dopamine and you're chasing dopamine all day, it's very easy for you to forget a lot of the things that matter, a lot of the things that are important. So my latest project, ADHDizzle OS, is specifically for anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur. They may be in a 9 to 5 and they want to transition into entrepreneurship, but they want to do it in a way that is not going to impact their life so much, like, because they're gonna do a really smooth transition. They're not just gonna be impulsive like I was. I was very impulsive. I didn't have any savings. I just jumped into this, went all in. I'm definitely not recommending that. What I am recommending though is that you definitely block time for it. And there's certain things that I think about that that makes it easy for me to navigate a day as an entrepreneur now. Because when you're self-employed, it's a whole different game now, right? The self-employment game is that now you have to structure your days, and you have to decide what is highest leverage for your business, and for anything, any of your activities that you're doing. You have to kind of have a system for that. And I feel like what happens for entrepreneurship for an ADHDer is they get very, very excited about all the things that are fun in entrepreneurship, like creating a logo, creating a website, design stuff, ideas. All these things are nice, but all these things will not make you any money unless you take action on them, right? And a lot of the time we don't take action on the specific things that actually will generate an income for us or scale our business, right? So I've just been noticing since I've been an entrepreneur, there's a lot of things that I wish I knew sooner, and I've just put it inside of this cohort so that I can help 10 entrepreneurs or 10 people who want to transition into entrepreneurship, just a guide on how to deal with that. Because what everyone keeps saying to me, and what I said to myself as well, is that we join these programs that promise us that we're going to make 10K, 20K, 30K a month and all this stuff, right? And we get super pumped. Yeah, man, I'm in. You get in, and then the way that it's been delivered to you is not really designed for your brain. So then you start falling off. You start realizing that actually this is a lot more than I thought it would be. And actually, it sounds like they've overpromised there, because, like, where's this bit and where's that bit that they said they was going to help me with? And there's no support. I thought they was going to support me with this. They're not actually even supporting me. Like, so the customer success is terrible. They've put money down the drain. Now they are skeptical of doing anything that's any other program now, right? I've done so many programs. Like, I've definitely spent over 5 figures on I've spent over 10K on programs, right? Since starting this journey. And I could tell you now, the program that made a massive impact to me is the one that I was able to adapt to the way my brain works, and be able to just use the principles of it and just gamify the parts that I found a bit tedious or found a bit challenging to keep to stick with. And my ADHD brain constantly just is going for novelty. So, like, where there's a very simple way to do something. It's like you do this, you make money, right? For an ADHDer, it's like you do this, you make money, but then you get bored, right? So I made my first 10K and I'm like, oh shit. And then I made my first 10K month and I was like, oh shit. Like, but I then get complacent, right? But then when I was getting complacent, like, I was forgetting what made me get 10K months, right? So I think what happens for us is that we need a system that reminds us of the things that are actually working, so we could keep doing them, and just try to make it adventurous at the same time, and not linear, and not like rigid, right? We don't want rigid systems or rigid routines. We kind of want something that it gives us the dopamine that we need at the same time, and that's what I've been able to do with my system, ADHDizzle OS. So this new project is essentially about walking into my shoes as an ADHDer and hearing my perspective on every angle of what it is to be an ADHDizzle, right? ADHDizzle, what an ADHDizzle actually is, right? What it actually means and represents is someone who designs a life that matches their brain type, right? I have ADHD. I was in an environment that wasn't for my brain type. I was a manager. I was managing 10 people on my team at the time. I was task switching throughout the day. I was in lots of meetings that I didn't want to be in that were just very like draining of my energy. It was really hard to keep up. I loved my colleagues that I worked with, but the work itself, it just really was unfulfilling for me. It just wasn't a fulfilling role, and it's not about everything just being fulfilling. But I just felt like if I was just to continue doing that and retire with that, I just don't think that would have been a good use of my time and energy and life. I just looked and I was like, man, I can't see myself doing this until retirement, man. Like, this is not it. Like, this can't be it, right? So I was building ADHDizzle while I was doing that. When I found out my diagnosis of ADHD in 2024, I created a school community. And I created a school community without knowing anything. Well, it's not that I didn't know anything. I knew stuff about ADHD because I was doing my research, right? I was going down that rabbit hole, but I wasn't an expert, right? But it wasn't the reason that was going to stop me from creating a school community. The school community was meant to be a hub of a place where I can build this system that I've built now, right? So ADHDizzle OS is what I've been building for the last 2 years, or at least been trying to find a way to make it be exactly what I want right now. It's taken 2 years, right? And it's something that you think, oh, fucking 2 years for that. Like, and you look at it, you look at the system, you're like, oh, yeah, that took you 2 years. But it took trial and error. It took taking things away. It took like me getting distracted and realizing that was a distraction when I thought it wasn't. And like, there was a lot of things that were happening on my journey that was helping me to understand more about what it is to be an ADHDizzle. And to be an ADHDizzle, you have to have an ADHD lifestyle business, right? That is fulfilling for you, that you help others in the process of the things that you're helping yourself with. So like, I'm helping myself navigate ADHD while being a business owner, while helping others, because I love helping others, right? But how can I monetize that in a way that still fulfills me, and it's not this kind of like, oh yes, like, you know, I'm getting lots of sales and like, and making it more like more heavily focused on the mission. And like, the mission is just to help as many late diagnosed ADHDs as possible. Like, that's kind of the biggest mission for me. And then the mission that it ties to is that I do want kids to have a better experience of getting support with their ADHD if they you know, find out earlier on. Like, I feel like if I had that support when I was in school and they found out I had ADHD and they had certain things in place, yeah, I could have had a bit more of a smoother journey. Obviously, it wouldn't have been perfect, but it would have definitely been a lot smoother. And I just feel like there's a lot of things that I found out now, why I did things the way I did it. And it's easier for me to now put strategies in place that helps me with that, right? So like, my goal is just to help adults that are late diagnosed like me, specifically in their 40s. It really, I think the reason why I'd say 40s is because when you're in your 40s, there's this kind of something in your gut that just says, I've had fucking enough of this shit. Like, it's something that sits in there with you. Maybe even your 30s you might have that, right? It depends on your current situation, if you're married yet, or if you have a partner or kids yet, right? But I just feel like there's a certain age where you're just like, I am tired of this fucking bullshit. I've fucking had enough. I need to change. And it's the age that I found out I had ADHD. I was in my 40s, and I realized that I could turn this around, you know? I could turn this around. Like, that's why I did that and that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to do the merch before, but yeah, the reason why I didn't do the merch is because of that. Oh, okay. But now I could do the merch then. But I'd have to do it right now because I've got this project that I'm doing now. So let me just finish this project that I'm doing now, and then I can implement the merch, because this thing now is going to be like, you know, automatically, it's going to be automated now, and it'll be running smoothly. I know very well about how it works, and it'll be on autopilot. And then I can now have some room for the merch. Like, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with me wanting to pursue writing a book, doing a podcast, creating merch, creating an online store. Um, what else? This cohort that I'm doing now, traveling, joint ventures, collaborations, like brand deals, all this stuff. Like, look, all this stuff sounds amazing, right? It sounds like stuff that I can do on this journey because I've got plenty of time, God willing, to embark on all those things, right? I don't have to do all of them at the same time. When you look at entrepreneurship, when you look at very successful people, they hone in on one thing and they just get really good at that one thing until it's so good that they can now hire a team to do all the other stuff that they're excited to do as well, but they just don't have the bandwidth to do anymore because they're doing this one thing. And like my one thing is content creation, right? I'm a creator. Like I'm a in a nutshell, really, I'm a creator, right? And the thing that drives income for me is coaching and digital product and like services, like products and services, right? Now, yeah, you might call that entrepreneur, right? But for me, it's just a creative process. I love the creative process of doing stuff. Like I love that I've been able to build a Notion template that matches my brain type and helps me to get these projects off the go and track them and track the data. And I love now that I can have Claude be inside of my dashboard now and it can start analyzing stuff and analyzing the data and seeing where I'm making patterns of making mistakes or the things that I want to improve on, right? I love that I could do that now, right? But when I first started this journey, or even before my diagnosis, I didn't have these tools, right? These are tools that weren't available to the market, like using AI in the way that we use it now. So it's just like perfect timing. It's almost like my undiagnosed version was preparing for this moment, and it was just I weren't ready for the diagnosis yet. My ideas weren't ready for the discovery of my ADHD yet, right? But I was always trying my very best to like describe my experience. There was a project that I was doing, an art project, and I called them the Loza twins, right? And the Loza twins were essentially a description of my brain. So I was trying to describe my experience and how my brain works, but I didn't know I had ADHD at the time. And there was one twin that was basically like a minimalist, like based on intuition. It was very like just core values and just appreciating nature and all this stuff, which is more the ADHDizzle side. So like what you're seeing on my ADHDizzle page is kind of like one of the twins, right? And the other twin was more the creative side. It was like what he sees and what influenced him, and what he heard, like music that he's influenced by. So I love grime music. I love I love all types of music, right? But grime is a frequency that makes me very hyperactive, and then there's other frequencies that make me more, you know, they calm me down and they make me feel like, for example, okay, I'll give you two or three genres just to let you know how much I love music and just the difference that they have for me, right? Raphael Sadiq has done an album called I think it's My Way. Oh, what is it called again? I forgot what it's called now, but it's got a red cover. It's one of the best albums in my collection, and for some reason I don't know where that album is now. I don't know if it's in storage with my mum, but it's one of the best. It's one of the best albums that I have, and it's like a Motown type of vibe, right? And then I love grime, and UK grime is a high tempo of like 140 BPM, and it makes me very hyperactive when I listen to it, right? And I love that type of music. I love hip hop, right? But then I like I like for example Kings of Leon, right? Like I like I like stuff that are just like the opposite of the music that I listen to. Like you'd think that someone that likes hip hop will not like a certain other genre, but I just love everything. I love all music, right? But what I'm trying to say is that there was two twins, and they were trying to fight for my attention. One was just very highly influenced by design, by arts. That's why I was doing art. I used to be an artist, right? And like design and like just everything that AI is doing right now, like was stuff that I loved, right? I loved that landscape. I loved creative ideas and all this stuff, like strategy, like anything visual, fashion, right? I loved all that. I even wanted to be a fashion designer. There was just so many things I wanted to do. But there was that creative side that was just trying to do all of that. And then there's another side of me that's just like, you know what, man, like nature, breathe, breath work, appreciation, journaling. It was like they were both fighting for my attention. And there was a point in my journey where I was like a minimalist, like I was a super minimal, like even now, like you see me, I'm wearing just all black all the time, right? That this is literally like, that was one side. And then another side was like, I'll wear a flowery shirt that everyone will compliment me on, like, man, Ollie, you pull that off. Like, and, oh shit, man, I love your outfit. And the whole outfit was like matching and all this shit. Like, so there was like two sides to me. And I just didn't know how to describe it, right? And I decided to call them the Loza twins, right? And I have a visual. In fact, I'm going to make that the album. I think I'm going to make this the thumbnail. One of the photos of the Loza twins that I did to represent it. But yeah, this is for the Loza twins, man. This project that I'm doing now, the ADHDizzle OS, is what I've been trying to describe this whole entire time when I was undiagnosed. It's like I was trying to describe how my brain works and what I'm trying to, what am I pursuing? Like I'm pursuing, like expressing myself and being able to control and manage the chaos that's happening with these two sources. I want them to work together on this journey. So I now get them to work together. One's going to help with the design aspects, the creative ideas, you know, like the carousels, how they're designed, how we're using AI to help us, you know, the music choices, like, you know, like soundtrack, like all this kind of stuff. The creative direction was one side of me. And it's like, it wanted to have the whole shine, but it couldn't have the whole shine because I needed to still have the groundedness as well, right? Of what, you know, this purpose-driven lifestyle that I have now, that I want to, you know, help others and teach and hola. So yeah, the Loza twins are coming to life right now, and I've even had a vision of being able to do them in the videos, so I can illustrate them in the videos. But AI is going to help me to be able to do that now, right? So all the ideas that I had years ago are now doable now. I was just too ahead of my time. Like the ideas, I just was not able to execute on them with the resources I had at the time. But I just was, I wanted to do this so badly, right? So, yeah, that's it, man. I'm at a stage now where I'm very excited. By the time you see this video, the cohort will be closed. So I'll add a link for if you want to join the wait list for the next one. But essentially, there is a journey that I've gone through to lead the life that I'm leading right now. And this was a dream. This was a dream for me. The life I'm leading now was a dream. It was like, man, I love if things could be that way. And it is that way now, right? Yeah, I had a bit of challenges with, you know, the separation. Yeah, I had a bit of challenges when I left my 9 to 5, feeling guilty, you know, that, like I felt disloyal to my manager and, you know, like all that kind of stuff, right? You know, in the midst of COVID, trying to change my shift to a morning shift because I had a daughter now and it was taking so long for that transition. So many things, like wasting money on stuff that I didn't need and looking back and going, man, I could have had so much more savings right now, you know, and just like, how did I not see that? And so there's been so much things, But right now, I'm in a position where I can teach people how not to make those mistakes that I did, right? And I can not make them again and do better next time, right? And it's just a beautiful journey to be able to do that. So yeah, just wanted to do a bit of a lengthy one for the diehard fans of ADHDizzle and what my brand is about and represents. But yeah, if you want to join the waitlist for it, I'll leave a link in the description, and then I can update you when the next one is. But I'm super super pumped, man. I'm just so excited for these next few months with these 10 was 9 because obviously yeah, no, it's 10, sorry. 10 people, and yeah, just wanting to really take this journey to the next level, man. I really want to take this journey to the next level where it's not just about making money. Honestly, making money is actually the least of it. Like, I just feel like the most important thing is these walks that I do, connecting with God. I'm not here trying to be religious and all that, but I'm someone who believes that there's a higher source out there that's helping me to navigate. When I was at my lowest, I really was just talking, man. I was like, look, I was praying, man. I was like, man, help me get out of this, man. Like, this feels heavy, man. Just don't know if I can get through this one. And I got through it, right? And I got through it through breath work, through praying, through trusting in God, through just learning more about who I am and what things can improve my life, like my diet. I've lost 10 kilos, man. I've lost a lot of weight. People say it to me, like, man, you lost a lot of weight, ain't you? I'm like, yeah. But in a few months, I'm going to put on the weight again, because what's happening is that I've now made this transition. I've moved. I'm now doing this cohort, and I'm doing this lifestyle where I'm going to be eating. Hola, buen día. I'm going to be eating the right foods. I'm going to really focus on diet. I'm really going to focus on movement. I'm going to do exercise routines that are really simple to execute on. And I'm going to be treating myself well, like going to the spa, having time to disconnect and recover, sleeping and making sleep a main priority for me, and just spending 3 months with people that want the same, right? And us doing it together. So I'm really, really, really excited, man. This is what I've wanted all along, this. And it's crazy. It's just crazy how, yeah, it's just crazy how far I've come, man. Like, I've just have to sit with that. Like, I just have to sit and think about that. Like, things are different, man. When I was undiagnosed, like, things were very different. Like, it's like there was nothing wrong with the ideas that I had. I always had really good ideas, and I always had, like, I always had something in me, right, to do the stuff. What the problem was is just that I didn't know myself well enough to be able to control the chaos. All these ideas that are coming in, all these things that are juggling at the same time, the overwhelm, the people pleasing, the masking, the alcohol consumption, like smoking. I look at my life now. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't work in a 9 to 5 anymore. I don't party. I don't watch football. I help my clients. I get to do these walks where I just get this amazing scenery of, this is where I'm at the moment. And look, the guy's just like working on these in allotments, and I'm just next to nature. This is 5 minutes from my home, right? For me, I just feel so blessed right now. But it's so easy to be distracted by how blessed I am with mindset on, oh, but this happened though, and being in that and soaking it in and being too in the, oh, but why that happened to me and all this stuff. Look, me separating is a heavy thing, but at the same time, I have to just see that I'm still very blessed that I get to still see and be with my daughter, that we both are on good terms in terms of we're talking and we're being civil about this, right? And we're accepting that, yeah, this is what we need to do, right? And not just doing it for the sake of it, right? And not just staying in the relationship for the sake of it, right? And being able to just see what really matters in life has helped me so much. A lot of things that I put importance on, in the end, didn't matter, right? And I just think what's going to be very important for anyone that's watching this video, for you, is to make sure that your sleep is good. It's never going to be perfect because there's going to be moments where you're going to be, overstimulated and you're going to find it hard to go to sleep. But just try and find ways to settle yourself down in the evenings that makes it easy for you to sleep. Because the next day you're going to be grateful for waking up fresh and being able to take on a day. That's the reason why sleep's important, because of the way it impacts your next day. It starts to have this compound effect of impacting your whole week, right? So it's important that we try to manage how that happens. So making sure that there's an evening routine that's going to really help with that is going to be the first step. And then having your morning start with a walk or some form of movement, or something like a practice like meditation or breath work or stretching, if you want to do something different. But starting with that and not using your phone that first hour at least. Like, I'd say not use it for the morning, but obviously for some people they need to use it still. But the first hour, do not give it to the phone. Give it to your faith. Give it to meditation practice or movement, right? And then after that, look at what you want your day to look like. Look at what things you might have overcommitted to and just communicate to those people, or and those things get delegated elsewhere or they get deleted. And then just start with your day with clarity on what the main thing you should be focused on getting out the way, so that you have mental real estate for the rest of the day to wind down at the end of your day. Because what we're doing is we're like, oh yeah, well, I've got 4 or 5 hours in the evening that I don't really have anything planned there, so I could just go over my time and leak it in there. But you need to have a cut-off time. You need to set boundaries, and if you set boundaries, you're going to have this. Let me just turn it back around. If you set boundaries, right, and then you're able to be less overwhelmed, and you're more relaxed throughout your day as well, because you're not trying to rush all of this stuff. You're doing it in a controlled way. You've lowered your expectations of what could be achieved that day, and you're not feeling disappointed because the expectations are really low. So you weren't expecting to do 100 things, you just expected to do 2 or 3 things, right? It's a massive difference. And half the things that you feel like you need to do, you can really just delegate it. You just haven't taken yourself out and zoomed out to see that, right? And making sure that you eat your proteins is very important. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's focusing on the right business activities that are going to help to drive you more business. Content creation is obviously the most important, because if you don't create content, no one knows who you are, no one knows you exist. That's one thing. Another thing is, of course, how you connect to them through the DMs, and how you message people to qualify them, because not everyone is a qualification. Not every conversation is someone who is a good fit for what you have going on. But I mean the paid side of things, but they might be really suitable for the free stuff, right? So that conversation that you're having with someone, you're just seeing, is this someone that will benefit from the free stuff or the paid stuff? And you're not trying to sell anyone anything. You are trying to help them with an outcome, right? And that's it. So Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that's the aspect of that. And then obviously, how you distribute your business activities in your day is really important. A lot of us will do the wrong tasks throughout our day. Are we focusing on the wrong business activity, and we wonder why we don't make money, right? This isn't about money. Money comes from who you are. Like, you become someone that makes money, right? Instead of chasing it, you need to become the person who attracts money. And how you attract money is by helping people solve a problem that they have that is pretty painful, that if they don't change is a big problem for them, but you've already solved in your life. That's how you become an ADHDizzle. Because an ADHDizzle is just designing a life that is matching his brain type, whether it's the way that you deal with entrepreneurship, whether it's how you deal with your family life, how you deal with your health and your well-being. It's how you reframe ADHD to use the ADHD traits as a strength to build a life that you love, right? And everything I'm doing right now ties to that. I'm going to be doing a cohort with 10 people who are really excited to make changes in their life. I get to have that dopamine of helping them. I get to get that, that purpose-driven activity, like just be a part of my life, right? And I get to do these walks. I get to eat well. I get to go to a spa and wind down. I get to disconnect a little bit, go meet a friend, have a sparkling water, which used to be like, let's go for beers. It's like, go for sparkling water, you know? Like, this is the life I've always wanted. And it's here now, right? And it's just about taking action on it. A lot of us just want to romanticize and dream about it, but we don't want to take the actions, or we don't know how to take the actions. And that's a lot of the reason why I do what I do, because I want to help people stop talking about what they want to do and actually start doing it. You could talk to me 100 times on calls about all your ideas, but on December, when December comes, will any of them been executed on? And if none of them been executed on, then we just wasted all those 100 calls for nothing, right? It's a waste of time. Like, these ideas that you say you have and that you want to execute on, you need to execute on them. You need to take action. And you need to understand you're going to fail, right? You're going to fail at certain things. There's certain things that are going to be uncomfortable. There's certain things that you're going to have to learn from scratch. And it's okay. It's absolutely fine. If you want help with this, jump on a call with me, but don't book a call if you're not serious. I'm not going to spend 45 minutes with someone just talking shit about where they want to be and not trying to change that situation. Like, I will try and help you, but don't come on a call just wasting time. Talk to me about these ideas and why you're not doing them, and then still not willing to take an action that's going to help you. I always give people a free option, always, and they never use it. That's why I laugh. It's like use the free stuff. You don't use the free stuff. So the only other way is that I actually hold you accountable, that I'm on your case, and I keep reminding you who you are and what to focus on. But it's too expensive, no? Yeah, of course it is. More expensive than you not doing it, right? When you get to December, you're going to spend more than my program on stuff you don't need. I'm telling you now, because I've done it myself. I've done it thousands of times, right? So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be very like, oh, let me just be cautious of my money now. But you spent money on some bullshit that you didn't need, and you're really comfortable with that purchase, but you're not comfortable with the purchase that's going to help you change your life, right? It's really important for you to look at that. And unfortunately, it just needs that tough kind of talk, tough love. This part of the video is tough love. It's like, I'm not even saying you have to work with me. I'm saying you need to work with someone on it if you're not doing it. If you said you're going to do it, honor your word and do it. If you're not doing it, find someone that can help you do it. That's all I'm saying. And I had to learn that the hard way. I kept trying to do things myself for such a long time, juggling different projects, all this stuff, until I hired some help, right? And they made things more clearer for me, and they gave me that opportunity to focus on the right things. And then I now am able to build my business, and I'm now was able to leave my 9 to 5, and I'm now able to navigate ADHD the way that I feel like is helping. And my journey of ADHD wasn't done through having ADHD coaching. My ADHD experience of how I solve problems was that I did the stuff to help me solve these problems, and I packaged it into frameworks, a course, a free course, and a program that I delivered today, right? I could have done the route of investing in someone else to help me, like an ADHD coach. I didn't do that. But you know why? Because I did the work, right? If you do the work, you don't need coaching. If you're not doing the work, you need coaching, right? That's the best way to describe it, or mentorship. But do not sit there and lie to yourself and say, oh yeah, but I can't afford that. Oh yeah, no, I can't do that. But that means you can't do your dream then, right? Because if you're not going to take the action, what else is going to help you take action? It's just a dream. It's just an idea. So yeah, peace.